Wolfman is the answer.
No, man, Wolfman, Jack's the answer. Ha ha.
What was the question? Well, of course, the question was, can you name a very popular theme among monster masks? A popular subgenre, a popular subject of monsterdom. Hey, come on in. Welcome to the Horror Hotel Library here once again with me, the guy who puts the hearse in really should start doing rehearsals. But I'm probably not going to. So let's have at it, shall we? Now today's Wolfman mask happens to be a non-movie related, or NMR, non-movie related Wolfman. Why do I call it that? Well, for the simple reason that it's not related to a movie. Now I could also describe it the same way by calling it a generic Wolfman, but that might sound to some people like I was disparaging it for not being based on a movie. And I could also describe it by saying it's an original Wolfman, but that could be misconstrued by some people to sound like I'm disparaging the masks that are based on movies. But this particular one is not for when you want an accurate reproduction of Lon Chaney as the classic Wolfman of the 40s, the greatest Wolfman ever, but it's also not based on any of the other Wolfmen. It doesn't look like Lon Chaney from the Universal movies. It doesn't look like, Oliver Reed from Curse of the Werewolf, or Michael Landon as the teenage werewolf, or Stephen Rich from the movie that's just called The Werewolf. Doesn't look like the Benicio del Toro alternate universe, parallel universe, alternate reality Wolfman. Doesn't look like Paul Naschy as the Waldemar Daninsky Wolfman. Doesn't look like any of those. No, this happens to be a new Wolfman from 2024, and it looks like this. Oh my goodness. How cool is that? On a scale of 1 to 7, pretty cool, I'd say. This particular Wolfman sculpted by Anders Lurka. There's his name right on there. Wonderful, wonderful, very talented, very creative guy. Sculpted this as part of the Nightmare Makers series for Ghoulish Productions. And the creeps at Ghoulish offer this particular Wolfman in 2 different colors. This is the gray one. He's also available in a brown version, but it's hard to explain. I can't put my finger on it. Well, I can, but what does that get you? Bitten, probably. Somehow the brown one just didn't do it for me. The brown one I thought, but this one, yeah, the gray one, that's super cool. Now, as you can probably tell, he's full head latex. Okay, the rubber goes all the way around and down the back. And on the inside, there's a little, there it is, the little stamped on Ghoulish, made in Mexico, right there. But even though he has long hair glued on around his face so that it can flop if you jump out at people at the haunted house or at the Halloween party when you're running around, the back has acrylic fur, sometimes called fun fur, which you may remember from old Be Something and Zagoni masks, among others. So you have the fur on the back half and then this longer hair encircling his face. See that? And he does have ears. I'll try to show can you see the ears? Well, if you can't take my word for it, he does have ears sculpted in there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sculpture with great detail. Little eye cuts where you see out of are above his spooky monster eyes. Now, one thing I like to tell you, I try to always tell you guys if I did anything to the mask. And I did one thing to this mask. I don't know if this one had a production flaw, that is an oversight, factory error, or factory terror as he likes to call it. I don't know if this was a mistake or if they all look like this, but this particular one, his teeth, okay, his teeth were completely matte finish, and the inside of his mouth was matte finish. So what I did was spray a little Shinola in there to make his teeth and mouth look nice and shiny, more lifelike that way. And what did I use for that? There are a number of things that, a number of compounds and products that you could use, including DevCon 5-minute clear epoxy, but it's a little tricky to work with and you have to be very careful to mix it correctly, and it will yellow pretty badly over time, but wow, it looks great. And I use it for some applications, but not on everything. What I chose to use on this guy was not DEFCON and was not triple thick, which is another possible option. What I used on this guy was a product called, you may want to write this down, all you secretaries out there, product called Liquitex Professional High Gloss Varnish. And I know varnish doesn't really sound like what you'd think of putting on a mask, but this particular product is a transparent clear coat that dries shiny, and you apply it to things that you want to be shiny. Now, why do I go with Liquitex Professional High Gloss Varnish? Because I presume that Liquitex Amateur High Gloss Varnish might not get the job done. So that's the product I used, and you can either apply it with a little paintbrush or through an airbrush. Either way, you can use it. So I made his teeth shiny. So if you get one of these and the teeth aren't shiny, you'll know that's pretty much, maybe that's the way most of them are, or maybe that's the way all of them are, or maybe this one just had a small flaw in that step was left out. But there he is with his awesome black shiny eyes with yellow centers, sort of a cat-like effect. And I don't know why the brown one didn't do it for me, but I recommend you go online and look it up, because you might prefer the brown one, or you might prefer you know, the overall look of the brown one. Even though it doesn't look that much like a Wolfman to me, it looks like some other kind of beast man monster. But yeah, the gray one really has the werewolf look going on, and an original kind of werewolf that is immediately identifiable, I think, to everybody as a Wolfman, without being a direct recreation of any previous design for this kind of makeup or character. And the last time I saw, these sold for about 60 bucks, which is a good deal because you're getting the extra hair and the fur and the full latex coverage and the nice eyes and all that. So 60 bucks, yeah, pretty good in today's monster economy. Yeah. So I say grab yourself. I prefer the gray Wolfman. Again, you may like the brown one, but yeah, grab one of these bad boys and put it with a plaid shirt. Even though I'll bet if you watched a different Wolfman movie every night for a year, you'd probably see like 4 movies in which any Wolfman was wearing a plaid shirt. But for some reason, it looks so cool, doesn't it? And a lot of us like to put a plaid shirt, like a flannel, like a work shirt or a lumberjack shirt, you know. A lot of us like the plaid shirt with the Wolfman costumes. I don't know why, but somehow that always looks right. And when I would be setting up mannequins for Horror Hotel every year, I would very often be like, oh, well, I want to have a Wolfman here, put this plaid shirt on him. It just looks right somehow. Do you like plaid shirts? Yeah, he says it's okay with him. He digs plaid shirts. Do you like overcoats? Yeah, jackets? Yeah, you like jackets too. You like plain solid color shirts, like maybe a dark green shirt or a dark blue shirt. You like that too? Yeah. See, he's pretty agreeable when it comes to costuming. Do you like prom gowns? No prom gown. But he does like pretty much any option. And you can probably find some good gray monster hands at your local Halloween store or somewhere online that you could put with this guy and be a gray, non-movie related Wolfman. And until next time, you go do something productive while I just sit here in the same spot and wait for 1 week to pass so that I can talk to you about another mask. Oh, I don't want this one on the table next week, though.